Hello, this is Mr. Schneider. This is Economic Concepts Part 2. I split up the terms for this unit. For the first set of terms was Unit 1. This is Unit 2. All right, our first one is price. Price is where it's the amount of money exchanged for a good or service. It's where the supply of a good meets the demand for that good. So when you walk into a store and the store is charging $2 for a pack of gum, it's determined that's where they can sell the most, and that's where people will buy the most. That's the best price to sell that gum at. In this country, price is established. You generally know the price of something before you go in to buy it. So it's the amount of money that you exchange for a good or service. Let's talk about what supply and demand are. There's a lot of words on the screen, so let me try to break it down as easily as possible. Demand is how much people are willing to pay for a good or service, how much they want that good or service. Higher price good or services, it's really rather simple. The higher price the good is, the less demand there's going to be for it. The lower price the good is, the more demand is going to be for it. Think about it this way. Think about cars. A Maserati is a much higher priced car than a Toyota Camry, but there's much more demand for Toyota Camrys. Why? Because that's what consumers can afford. So that's not talking about the quality of the car at all. That's just looking at the price. So there's a much greater demand for a Toyota Camry. Likewise, look at supply. Since Maseratis cost more, there are not going to be as many made as there are Toyota Camrys. It costs less to make a Toyota Camry, so there's a much greater supply of them. Okay, let's put it to you this way: how much demand there is for a product helps to determine what the price for that product is going to be. Back in 2009, I believe, Nintendo came out with the Wii. It was a huge seller. I remember there'd be reports of stores coming out saying, oh, this store has 5 Nintendo Wiis. They'll be delivered at 5 p.m. People would start lining up like the morning before, the night before, and they would sell out very quickly. But what happened was there developed a secondary market for the Wii because the demand was so high that people started selling them on eBay. And instead of getting the $300, people were selling them for $700, $800, $900 because demand was so high for that product. So when demand is high, supply is low, price is going to go up. Now what we generally find is where supply and demand meet, that's called the equilibrium price. Everybody who wants to sell something is able to sell something. Everybody who wants to buy something is able to buy something in that price. We'll look at a supply and demand curve in class, but just know that equilibrium is where the two meet, where supply meets demand. The last thing is incentives. We're looking at economic incentives. We're trying to change people's behavior, trying to get them to buy things. I typically think when I go to the grocery store and I'm in the cereal aisle, a common incentive is buy 2 boxes of cereal for $6 as opposed to buy 1 for $3.89 or something like that. So think about incentives or things like coupons, discounts, buy 1, get 1 free, things like that. All right, so that's podcast 11.1. Like I said, we'll look more at supply and demand in class. Thanks.